When Stasis first came to us in November with the Beyond Light DLC, everyone was excited. Is it good in PvE? Is it good in PvP? Well, now we know it was amazing in PvE and really not too great for PvP, especially for being how dominating it was. So let's find out if the nerf really did the job. I cannot wait to show you guys what I found. Well, guys, it finally happened. You asked for it. I asked for it. Man, even the Dregs and the Vex even asked for it. Stasis got a nerf, but how big are we talking? Well, enough to matter and possibly bring the light subclasses back into the main playing field. Let's get into it class by class to see a before and after of what this nerf actually did. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the 12 with you guys and show you the before and after with Stasis. I want to go through each one, except for the first half is just more of a general nerf. They're kind of going through just as a basis. Something that I do want to touch up on immediately is Stasis Slow no longer suppresses class ability and air moves such as Icarus Dash and Dodge on Hunter, and of course Blink. So if you're in a desk field, you are going to be able to roll out of it. So here's a perfect example, guys. This is pre-nerf. I am spamming roll. I cannot roll out of this. I can't get out of the situation. And then here is post-nerf. As you can see, my dodge is up. I'm able just to dodge out of there. So pretty nice nerf to the desk field nade as it is. So looking at the next part of the TWAB, Whisper of Hedrons. Now this one was a big problem when they just recently buffed it for some reason and came out with it. No longer increases weapon damage after freezing, now increases weapon stability, weapon aim assist, mobility, resilience, and recovery after freezing. So let's take a look at what that looks like now. So pre-nerf, Cold Snap will just come in, freeze you all fast and like. This is going to be the Whisper of Hedrons now. As you can tell, two little icicles will form behind you, which is a little interesting and a little bit weird at the same time. Not sure if that's a nerf. And then this is, of course, Cold Snap without Whisper of Hedrons. Just kind of hits you and then goes on its merry way. Now, if we're talking damage, a 120 to the head is 90 damage. Now, if we let him just regen real quick, hit him with a Cold Snap, you're going to see that with the damage buff, you're looking at 113 to the head. Easy 2-tap capabilities. Destiny didn't want this. So we're going to go ahead and test it out. 90 to the head just as before, as 120s do. Hit him with a Cold Snap. You're going to see that now. We're going to do 45. So there's a little damage reduction. And then because of no damage buff and just the stat boost that we talked about earlier, you'll get handling, but the damage buff won't be there. So one of the last things on this section of the TWAB, Cold Snap grenades, as you saw earlier, will no longer seek targets after the initial target acquisition, which is great, but something interesting. Now, Cold Snap grenades bounce off walls and then detonate on the ground. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So pre-nerf, if you threw a Cold Snap at the wall, it would hit the wall, hit a target maybe. Other times it might just run off somewhere. Now, post-nerf, if you hit the wall, it's going to bounce right off and go and seek its target. This is semi a buff, but nothing really that serious. And before I forget to mention, I accidentally skipped right over this. If you look right in the middle, reduced movement speed penalty while slowed by 20%. So I tried to test this out. Visually, it looks kind of faster, but you guys can be the judge before we head into the Titan boys. So I wanted to show here, throwing down a dusk field and to kind of walk through it. As you can tell, you're sluggish, you're slowed. It doesn't feel good to ever be in a dusk field. It just slows your roll. And we don't like being slowed when we're in our roll. This is post-nerf. This is today. Visually, to me, it looks like you're going a little bit faster. I don't know about you guys. It looks a little bit quicker. Like you're kind of sifting through there a little faster. So, all in all, Hunter Stasis. So let's take a look at everyone's favorite behemoth. First thing is first, guys. Shiver Strike. Reduced flight speed and distance, reduced knockback versus player, and removed slow detonation on player impact. Let's take a look at how they nerf this. So right off the bat, I found out that about 16 meters is the distance in which you can do the Shiver Strike. That is a one-hit knockout from that distance. The nerf, though, 13 meters was the longest that we could do it. Hit him dead on, hits the back, and he is alive. So huge nerf. Love to see this. Oh my god. So also wanted to see what the wall damage would be like once you do hit a wall and someone melees you from that distance. That is a kill. It is devastating. Tested it again post nerf. We're gonna go ahead and line it up, hit him towards the wall, and it barely scratches him. Oh my goodness. Now you may be asking me, Matty, what about the yeet factor? Now we lined this up 6 meters away right at that pole. We yeeted him back 33 meters, which is about a 27 meter yeet. Now that is pre-nerf. Let's take a look at post-nerf yeet. So here we are, same spot, 6 meters. We're going to go ahead and give it a good old punch. And it looks a little less exciting. We're going to go back to the yellow pole. Now this is all rough estimates, guys. And that is 24 meters. So 18 meter yeet compared to a 27 meter yeet. That is a delicioso nerf. So getting right back into the TWAB, Cryoclasm. Now this is something that did need a touching up on, but honestly, I think they went about it the wrong way. It now requires a Titan to sprint for 1.25 seconds before activation when not in super, but the cooldown is gone. Let me show you guys exactly what that looks like and why that's kind of a buff. So this is pre-nerf, as you guys can tell. 2 slides, and on the left, Cryoclasm cooldown occurs. It only goes away for about 3 seconds, and then I'm right back to sliding, but you get 2 slides before the cooldown commences. If we're looking at post-nerf, I just have to run just a little bit, and I can just keep on sliding back and forth. No cooldown procs. Now, for someone that's maybe running forward and getting a lot of shotgun kills, turning a corner, running a little bit, sliding out, this could be used very well in the right hands. Now, this is a part of the TWAB that I didn't exactly understand, so I tested it, and even after testing it, I didn't quite understand, so maybe you guys can tell me down in the comments. We're looking at Howl the Storm, reduced angle of initial freezing / damage cone, reduces crystal creation freezing radius, and then now spawns a small crystal on walls if performed into walls. So we're going to mix that in and see exactly how that looks. Again, guys, I'm a little confused on it, so maybe you guys can explain it to me. Let's go ahead and see how it looks. So this is going to be pre-nerf. We're going to go ahead and pop. As you guys know, from that distance, you're getting frozen. Those ice statues are coming out pretty fast. Now this is post-nerf. We're going to go ahead and pop. And to be honest, it looks pretty similar. Maybe there's a slight delay in those last crystals, but pretty the same. Now, looking at the one about how shards go on the wall, I'm not sure if they were talking about if you slam directly onto the wall. I want to see if there was a difference. As you can see, 3 big old crystals formed on the wall. And from the exact same spot, post-nerf, we're going to pop it. And you're going to see the same crystals on the same spot of the wall. So maybe I got this wrong. I wasn't too sure. I wanted to put this in the video anyway. So maybe someone in the comments can enlighten me on exactly what this is. All in all, looking at everything, we're going to say that Titans did in fact get a big old stasis nerf. Now, last but not least, we have a Warlock Stasis. Now, to be honest, guys, I don't think Warlock Stasis was too overpowered. It really wasn't that big of an issue, as you could snipe it out, and it was very, very slow. But let's go over it in the meantime. You guys are going to see some of the things make up for it in terms of some abilities and some serious tracking. So let's get right into it. Penumbral Blast. Reduced tracking and proximity detonation size and tracking versus a player. Reduced freeze size radius versus player when impacting the environment from 2.7 meters to 1.5. Let's take a look. So this is going to be pre-nerf. As you can tell, it has a lot of aim assist. Your hitbox is massive. This is post-nerf. To be honest, it's a very, very slight nerf. You barely have to aim at someone and hit them with one of these. Moving down the list, Ice Flare Bolts. Now, once you kill someone, the Seeker, much like a Cold Snap, only chains once, which is great. But when we're talking about Winter's Wrath, which was the majority, the main star of this super, the insane freezing projectile tracking strength now ramps down to 0 after 2 seconds of flight. I tried to show this as best I could. I'm going to be honest, they're still pretty strong, but perhaps not as freakishly strong as they were before. but this will probably kill Warlock Shadebinder into the ground. So I try to get as far as distance as I could and to add a little bit of a curvature to the actual shots. So I kind of, well, I mess up there a little bit, but as you can tell, they hound at you. So I try to aim really far out, try to shoot some shots. You can tell they take a hard and 90-degree turn. I try to really see the distance in which they would go. It's still pretty drastic pre-nerf. Post-nerf, I try to get the same exact angle, aim it at the same tree. The one thing I did notice is that there is a very, very large increase in reticle recoil, as you guys can tell. A little bit uncomfortable when using. It's definitely not as smooth, but those ice flares are still flying at people with 90-degree turns. So all in all, guys, Shadebinder did get nerfed. Well, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it helped in any way. If you came in during stasis, I'm sorry. But I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you for watching. Real quick before we are done, if you guys do drink advanced, I do have a code, 10% off using code Matty. If you guys want to support me and support the stream, I'd highly appreciate it. Thanks, guys.